Hi, this is David Essel. There's so many people that struggle in the world of addiction. Right now, about 90 million Americans struggle with alcohol. 30 million to 60 million struggle with nicotine, smoking addiction. About 60 to 70% of Americans struggle with some kind of an addiction to food, emotional eating. 60 to 70%. I mean, it's amazing the number of people that are struggling with addictions. And there's all kinds. There's alcohol, drugs, smoking, food, sex addictions, gambling, power, greed, gossip, addiction to gossip, addiction to negativity. Of course, codependency is the mother of all. And what we're talking about there is the craving to be liked, the craving to be accepted, the fear of rocking the boat, the fear of being judged, the fear of being abandoned, the fear of being ridiculed. I mean, these can all become huge addictions. Now, most commonly, people think about addiction recovery as with substances, but in our work for 24 years, a holistic addiction recovery program, we work with everything. I would say right now that the number one addiction that we're working with in regards to the number of people is codependency, without a doubt. Second to that is alcohol, but not far behind is food addiction. And there's a good reason we have so many clients with food addiction, because 60 to 70% of Americans are either overweight or obese. So with those kind of numbers, we're going to find a lot of people. Our program, as many people will say, but our program is outrageously unique. First of all, the average success rate with addiction recovery in the United States of America from most programs is 10%. That means 90% of people that work with someone like me or go to an expensive or an inexpensive treatment center, 90% within 12 months will be back using whatever their drug of choice was, whether it was a thought addiction, a behavior addiction, or a substance addiction. We have a 50% success rate, which may not sound high, but it's huge in this industry. It's massive. We are extremely successful, and we have been since day one. Within holistic addiction recovery, we spend a lot of times looking at what are the emotions that we're trying to avoid. What are the emotions that we don't want to face, that we're using substances or activities, even TV addiction, radio addiction, spending addiction, to numb ourselves from feeling? Are we disappointed in where we are in life? Are we resentful? Are we rageful? What is it? Are we have shame and guilt? So the emotional component is massive. Next is brain chemistry supplementation. We know that even people that have a great program are going to relapse. The odds are really high if they don't have the feelings in their brain that they're getting from the drug or the activity of choice, the adrenaline rush. We ask individuals to be open to the possibility of amino acid therapy, where that we can help through certain amino acids people to feel the way they want to feel, like after they have that first drink, how they feel, after they have that first cigarette, how they feel, after they're buying something on sale, whatever it might be. Those emotions we can actually mimic in many ways, the well-being, the excitement, the focus, the energy, with amino acid supplementation. And then we use a lot of other things too, like correct meals, the amount of protein, carbohydrate, and fat per meal, so that blood sugar levels stay elevated, so we don't crash and then reach for that addiction to feel energized. There's all kinds of amazing things, breathing techniques, meditation techniques. If people want to bring in their spiritual path, we go down spiritual paths with people, but that's not mandatory. Of course, exercise to release good feeling of the neurotransmitters that come with exercise so that you have more control. We look at coping mechanisms. I just worked with a woman today and gave her 3 very powerful coping mechanisms that when she's stressed, when she's anxious, when she's bored, then instead of reaching for her drug of choice, she's able to have something to combat that in order to shift the subconscious mind. That's the last thing I'm going to talk about, is that if we don't switch the subconscious mind from one that is normal when it's in the addicted phase, if we don't switch that into a subconscious mind that can be free of any type of thought, substance, or behavior addiction, then people will go back out. They'll be clean for 30, 60, 90 days and go back out. Contact me at talkdavid.com. You can go to our specialty pages and look for a holistic addiction recovery and read all about it, okay? And I want people to know that there's recovery. I'm in recovery right now for 2 major substances that I used forever, to over 20 years of addiction, and I became free by following other people's advice. We have a program that I know will work for you. Contact us at talkdavid.com. Join this YouTube channel so you get all these videos for free. But it's 100% confidential. Contact us today. If you are a family member of someone who's struggling, you have an opportunity right now to work with us as well, so you can learn more about addiction and what are the correct actions and thoughts and words for you to use with your loved one while they're struggling. Whether they come into our program or not, if you are part of a family where addiction is taking place, we can work with you individually, okay? So I really want to see this world free of addiction, and it can happen. And we are going to be one of the sources to help you get there. Have a great day.